Welcome to this video presentation of medigapindyou.com, a passive income health insurance business since 2012. In this video, I will discuss the website features of this business, its revenue streams, how the content was created, website traffic, and a little bit about the growth over the 2 years that the website has been online, monthly and annual maintenance, why the website is for sale, and then a little bit about ongoing software support. So let's get right into the meat of things. Medigap and You promotes Medicare health insurance. Medicare, if you're not familiar, is a U.S. government program, but it is open to private health insurance carriers. So, people with Medicare benefits can choose to get their health insurance through the government and supplement coverage with additional insurance, or they can join a private health plan, also known as Medicare Advantage. Medigap and You has all of the private health insurance options available to people with Medicare benefits. So here on the home page, you see a box inviting people to put their zip code in, and then one of the three choices that they would have for private health insurance, which would be a Medicare supplement, a Medicare Advantage plan, or a prescription drug plan. Now, maybe you're already aware that Medicare is a very lucrative business, but let's review why. About 10,000 people a day turn 65 in the United States, and they begin receiving their Medicare benefits. Today, there are 47 million people on Medicare. By 2025, that number will increase to 80 million. Now, for most people, original Medicare only pays for about 80% of their major medical bills. That means additional health insurance is absolutely crucial. Out of those 47 million or so that are on Medicare today, well, about 34 million of them have some form of additional insurance that's not provided by the government. Health insurance agents make an average of $200 to $500 per policy that they write, whereas an affiliate can earn about $75 per sale and $25 per year residual. Now you have to understand that that agent puts in a lot of effort, a lot of work to generate that $200 to $500 per policy, whereas an affiliate, once the website is set up and the traffic is generated, it's all hands off. Medigap and You provides a catalog of all Medicare health plans laid out by state and county. And the reason that it's laid out by state and county is because that's how the government provides its information, and that's how most Medicare beneficiaries know how to search for plans in their area. Now, when somebody comes to the Medigap and You website, they can go directly to their area by putting in a zip code in this search box here, or they can browse by plan catalog type, right, which are featured across the top menu structure here. So let's go to let's browse down, and then I'll take you back, and you can see how that works. So let's go into Medicare Advantage plans. And here you also are presented with another search box because people would come back to this page. Or if they scroll down, they'll see a list of states. So let's go to Arizona. And then the next page down would be the counties within a particular state. Right? And then the person can drop down into whatever county that they happen to be in. So let's go to Mojave County. And then finally, within the county page itself, you'll find a list of plans right here. And you'll notice that the monthly policy amount is on the left, followed by a 5-star rating provided by the government, and then, of course, the title and link into a plan. So if we go into a plan, for example, this Humana Gold Choice plan, you'll see that the page has a general description, and then the visitor has an option to go to more tabs. So right now you're on the overview tab. There's also a pricing tab, and that tells them about the monthly premium, what's included in the monthly premium, so on. It will tell them about health coverage, so they can dive down into finding out what the co-pays are for doctor visits, for hospital visits. In other words, how much they pay for the different types of services. And then finally, if the plan includes prescription coverage, prescription drugs, it will give on this final tab, it will tell them about the copay by tier of drug at the pharmacy. Okay, now I'll take you back to the home page, and we'll do a zip code search, and you'll see that you'll get back to the exact same page. So 86442 is Mojave County, and I did that wrong. Sorry about that. I need to choose Medicare Advantage. That's where I was. 86442. And that gets us back to the Mojave County page that we were on, and this is the plan that we were looking at on Mojave County. So those are the two ways that someone can navigate to a plan page on Medigap and You. Now, if you'd like to see how well these plan pages do in search, well, then you can just head on over to Google and put in a search that includes the general plan name. So the one that we were just looking at was a Humana Gold Choice plan. It also had a plan number in the title. That's something that Humana does. And then put in the name of the county and the two-letter state code. Hit go and see just how well it does. Well, look here. This particular plan, Medigap and You, is number one of the organic. Number two happens to be another one of my clients' websites that is similar to Medigap and You. Number three is a competitor. Number four, five, and six are my own website, MedicareWire.com. So you can go to any plan page on this website, Medigap and You, do the same type of search, and I guarantee you that it will come up on page one or page two at a minimum. But most of them are hitting squarely on page one. So it does extremely well in these long tail searches where you include the plan name, the county name, and the state code. Okay, going back to the plan page that we were just on, let's go over some of the ways that this website makes money, how it's laid out, why I laid it out that way, and that'll give you a better understanding of the revenue model. Right now, the revenue model on this website is pay per click only. My other website, MedicareWire.com, this year at the beginning of the open enrollment season for Medicare in October, I got the website connected with a pay per sale relationship. I didn't have enough time to do the same with Medigap and You. So right now this website is all pay per click. You'll see a widget in the upper right hand sidebar, and that widget goes from page to page. This is Vantage Media, previously known as Brokers Web. The two companies merged a while back, and they kept the Vantage Media name. You would simply type in a zip code here, something like, let's see, let's use the same one we were on, 86442, and a yes or no, are you over 65? That's based on simply qualifying the person, and you'd click on Get Quotes. And then this Vantage Media asset page comes up that has a list of advertisers on that page. And then there's a note at the top. This comes from Vantage Media, not me, where they say shop around. The average consumer compares 3 rate quotes before choosing. So they are encouraging people to click on multiple quotes. So if we were to go back to the same page, let's see, how did I do that? 86. and then back onto the same plan page. Sorry about that. I couldn't get to my back arrow because of the alignment of the screen. If we go back to the same page, you'll see another button here that says Find a Medicare Agent. And this one already has the information pre-populated. And I can do that because I already know where the person is. I mean, if they're looking at this plan, they're in Mojave County, Arizona, so I don't need a zip code to get to the exact same page that we were on. So that's all that button right there does. It's basically the same thing, and I found through experimentation that having the two different buttons, right next to one another, made my click-through go up significantly just because of the verbiage difference, I guess, or people lazy not wanting to put a zip code in. 6442. Let's go back to that same page again. Okay, so that's how the Vantage Media pay-per-click relationship comes in. Somebody's looking at this plan. They now want to find an agent. So they're either going to click on the Get Quotes or Find a Medicare Agent. You'll also notice that I have Google AdSense on the site. You'll find it in the sidebar. And in some cases, depending on the type of page, you'll find it in the body of the main content as well. Now, you also notice that there was a slider that came out from the right-hand side, and that is simply inviting the person to, compare now, find the lowest rate. That leads them to the Vantage Media asset that you would get to from either one of these two buttons. All right, so I incorporated this slide out when you get to a certain point on the page as another call to action. Also in the sidebar, you will find media.net ads. That's if you're not familiar with media.net, that is a collaboration between Yahoo and Bing to provide AdSense-like ads, contextually sensitive ads. So you'll see a media.net ad in the sidebar and another media.net ad here at the bottom. So I'm doing two for Google and two for media.net for a total of 5 different pay-per-click opportunities on the same page. All right, just as long as we're here, let me show you a couple other features. I also, when I'm generating the page, randomly put links to other plans for the same county at the bottom. Right, so there's a whole bunch of cross-linking that goes on within these pages. You'll also notice at the very bottom is a list of all of the cities within a county. And this assists with people who would go to Google and instead of searching by county, they would actually search by their city name, such as Kingman, Arizona, or Bullhead City, Arizona, or Golden Valley, Arizona. Right? So that's why you'll find those at the bottom of those plan pages. Being as transparent as possible, I mentioned that I have a Medicare website that I'm planning on keeping. That's MedicareWire.com that you see right here. Here you will see my version 3 software. That was an epic failure. My traffic actually went backwards, and now I'm going to have to figure out what the problem is, and that's exactly why I didn't roll this version of software over to Medigap and you, because traffic on that site would have gone backwards as well. But what I want to show you on this site is that I have a lead capture form on my home page that takes a person to lead capture page and then allows them to go on through the plan page as well. So if you type in a zip code 92118, that's San Diego, California. Here's the lead capture page. I don't strong arm them. If the person hits continue, it takes them directly to the plan page. And if you were to look at this website, you'd see the differences between Medigap and U, which is my version 2 code, and this code, which is version 3. The big difference between the two is that I put all plan types under one hierarchy on this site instead of under 3 different catalogs that you'd see on Medigap and U. And I think that that's a problem. It was just too confusing for the seniors, and then they would bounce off of my website. So that's what I wanted to show you here. Just wanted to show you that it is possible for you to create another source of revenue, a pay per sale opportunity. I'm making $75 per sale, $25 every year after as a residual. And I don't have my final numbers in yet because open enrollment just closed. I did send almost 200 leads uh, to my um, to my relationship, and we'll see, how many sales they get out of that and what my revenue is. But that's open to you. Now, I explained to you that there are multiple websites that are running the same software. I mean, currently it's four websites, two that I own, Medicare Wire and You, Medigap and You, and two for clients. And so you're probably wondering, okay, how is it that the content is not all the same, and you're not getting punished by Google for having websites with content that's the same? And it's quite simple. Built into the plugin is the capability of changing the hierarchy that the catalogs sit in. Uh, you can change the titles. Um, you have the ability to change the content that goes on each main catalog page, which is what we're looking at now. This is the main catalog page for Medicare Advantage plans. And then I use a process of writing multiple paragraphs, putting replacement codes in those paragraphs, and then randomly choosing paragraphs of the same description to make up a page. So, for example, let's just dive down into a state page here real quick. We'll go into Alabama. And here you'll see two paragraphs at the top, which means within my system I write three variations of each one of those two top matter paragraphs. And then you see the counties. That is automated by the system. And then you see bottom matter. So here in the bottom matter, there are one, two, three, four, five paragraphs and some link material. And so each one of those would also have three variations plus replacement variables. And then I run that information through a script that runs on a Windows host platform, and that writes the information out to the database. Well, what's going to happen in the next version is I'm doing away with VB script, and the complete capability of creating these pages and updating the content will go into the WordPress backend. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about on my development site. This looks like Medigap and You, but it's not. It's my development site that's not indexed by Google. Let's go into the WordPress backend. And actually, let me go back to the beginning here, or back out to the site itself. So the site or the update system that I'm going to show you is for Medicare Part D, which is the drug plans. All right. So specifically, I'm going to show you about the state page information. So right now, you would see. Published on this page, Alabama seniors, Medicare Part D plans are getting better every year, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's go into the back end of how this all gets published, and I'll give you a better understanding of how this publishing system works. So down here, you'll see the control panel for PDP, which is Part D Plan Finder. And I'm going to drop down here to State Content. And on the State Content page, you're going to see a series of boxes, and the best way to think about each one of those boxes is that each one of them represents a paragraph that's going to go on the page. And if we go back to let me take you out to the screen itself back here. Right, so we're going to go on to Alabama. And right here, so we're going to be talking about this paragraph that I've just highlighted right here, which you see doesn't have a heading. The page itself has a heading of Medicare Part D plans for Alabama beneficiaries. And then we've got the plan choices themselves. Those are automatically generated by the system. And then we've got a series of additional headings and paragraphs down at the bottom. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And now if I go back into, sorry about that, I pulled up the wrong system. Okay, so now if we go back into the back end of this, we're looking at the first paragraph. And you'll put in whatever HTML you need. So in this case, I simply put in paragraph tags. And you'll see these replacement variables. So here I have the replacement variable state. It's just in the curly braces. And carriers, right? And a year. All right. And at the very bottom of this page, I have documented what the replacement carriers are. So state, two-letter state code, carriers, category, year, and more. Which that part really doesn't matter right now. You just need to know that it's capable of taking a replacement variable and plugging in that replacement variable where it makes sense. So from state to state, we're going to have replacement variables that represent the state name and the year that the catalog is being published on, so on and so forth. And now here I've got 3 different variations. Right, and so the variation that we were looking at here says Alabama seniors Medicare Part D plans are getting better every year. So if we go back here, we should find that. All right, so it says state, that's the replacement variable. That's how the Alabama got in there. Seniors Medicare Part D plans are getting better every year. All right, so the system, when it published it, randomly picks one of the 3 different variations that you choose. In addition to the replacement variables, the system also knows about spin tax. If you're not familiar with spin tax, go get yourself familiar with spin tax. It allows you to change up various words or passages within the text automatically. And that's why this new version is going to have a much higher ratio of non-duplicated or original content than the current variation that I have. So, coming out in the very near future will be this modification to these Medicare Finder catalogs. So that's the top content. If I needed a second paragraph, there's a button right up here that says Add New Top Record. If I want to delete a record, I can delete that record. And if I want to spin the top content, and by that it means actually generate it and put it out to the database, then I click on this button here, Spin Top Content, and then I could do the same thing for the bottom. And the bottom here, you'll notice we have one paragraph and 3 different variations of headings. Second paragraph and 3 more variations of headings. Third paragraph, fourth paragraph, and so on. Right? So it's very expansive. You'll be able to add as many paragraphs, do all of the updates, all from within, this control panel. In addition, there are certain cases where you'll need to do some logic within the system. And I have built that in as well. And that will go into a user's guide as to how that logic works. All right, so I'm going to go to a plan content page just to kind of give you an example of what I mean by logic. There's some cases where I want to put out a paragraph, and then there might be some cases where I don't want to put out a paragraph. And those are almost always based on, no, I'll take that back. Those are always based on information that comes from a database table. So, for example, if a plan has a feature, then you may want to put out one type of paragraph. If a plan doesn't include that feature, then you'll want to put out a different paragraph. And so what you can see right here is, I've created this little scenario within a heading that allows you to put in some PHP code. And if you're not familiar with PHP code, well, that's okay. That'll be explained in the manual. But this is how I am able to evaluate based on the type of information or based on a feature that's in the database. It will allow me to put out a paragraph or not put out a paragraph. And I hope I didn't confuse you terribly on that, but uh, just be aware that the system is going to be extremely flexible, even from a basic end user point of view. It will all be documented in the user's guide. All right, so hopefully that gave you a pretty good understanding of how the content generation system works and why more than one website that's running the exact same piece of software can be totally unique. It's all based on the perspective of the person writing the content that is going to be put on the pages. Let's look at the revenue from this website. Website's been online for 3 years now. It was created in 2012. So it was online for 2012, 2013, and now 2014. Each year, its revenue has doubled. So 2013 was twice that of 2012, and 2014 has now been almost exactly double 2013. Can it continue to go up double each year? Well, I don't know why it couldn't. This website had almost no maintenance. It was originally built for my girlfriend. She didn't do anything with it. She did almost no blogging other than some original blog posts that she put up. There's very little backlinking that has gone to this website. And I just recently did the one and only update to the website where I updated from version 2 code to version 3 code, and it really took off this open enrollment because of that. Prior to the version 3 upgrade, it had 47,000 pages indexed by Google, and currently we're heading towards the new number, which is about 150,000 pages. So the opportunity went way up. How much further can it go? Well, it can go a lot further. There, with just a little bit of care and backlinking, some blogging, not doing anything foolish with the website, I don't see any reason why this website won't double again, over the next 24-month period of time at a minimum. Hopefully, it will double again next year. Uh, Certainly, that's no guarantee for anyone, but it's been on track for doubling every year. Okay, so why the variation from January through December earnings? Well, it's very simple. Medicare open enrollment, which is when everyone needs to get a new Medicare plan for the beginning of the next year, begins October 15th and ends December 7th. However, seniors with Medicare get anxious, and so September is when they really start, going out and looking to see if they can find new plan information. So, while for an agent's point of view, open enrollment doesn't start until October 15th, from an affiliate's point of view, it starts almost a month sooner. And that's why you see the numbers picking up in September and then dropping off again in December. How much better is it going to be next year? Don't know. Can't make any promises. This website's had almost no activity on it whatsoever in terms of blogging and backlinking and all of that sort of thing. So I would expect that somebody who takes more care than my girlfriend did on the website is going to have a lot more success. The numbers that you see here are a roll-up summary, and let me show you. Oops, sorry about that. Where those numbers come from. So here are the broker's web numbers. The reason that you see this page split is because in September of this year, Vantage Media changed platforms. And so the numbers are now split between two different reporting systems. So for the year, almost $7,500. Next is media.net. And media.net numbers, similar in variance to what Vantage Media was providing. These I use as my secondary ads below Google AdSense. Brought in almost $3,000 for the year. And then AdSense is the big winner. Get a lot of clicks on AdSense. Almost $9,900 on AdSense. And I didn't do a lot of A/B testing on this website. All right, I moved things around a couple of times to get them where they are. Somebody who takes time to do some A/B testing can certainly squeak out a little more revenue on the ads than I have done. So that is a quick look at revenue, and this year right at $20,700. Not a bad year for a passive income business. I hope that helps you understand more about this business and what's behind it. Medicare is a very big topic. I would invite you to do your research and go and learn. If you have questions, please post them up on my Flippa listing. I look forward to answering any questions that you might have. I will be doing a follow-up video showing the income accounts and the Google Analytics account to give people a better understanding of where the money is coming from, the fact that the money is true, and the quality of the traffic that's coming to the website. Thanks again.